In this lecture, we're going to be talking about the digital recorder. It's this piece of equipment. It's a Tascam SS-R200 recorder. This records on flash drives, SD cards, or compact flash. I highly recommend using a USB drive. In order to use it, plug it in to the port. Once you plug it in, you should see the status go from no media to media reading. At this point, most of you will probably get an indication that your media needs to be formatted. If it's all ready to go, you'll see this. This tells you the number of tracks recorded, and it tells you the amount of time of any track. Right now, we have no tracks recorded. It's also telling us that we are using the USB and not the SD card or the compact flash. If anything other than USB comes up, then simply hit the button labeled device and select the proper device, which in this case will be USB. Once you've selected it, push the knob. One of the first things you're going to have to do is format your drives. Now, I recommend doing this even if the machine doesn't ask you to do it. But remember, once you format this drive, you'll erase everything that's on it. In order to format the drive, select Menu, then using this knob, turn down to Utility, and push the button. It will give you the option of formatting the drive. If you wish to do so, select the button, and it's going to now ask you to hit Enter to do it or Menu to not do it. So if you want to format, I would hit Enter, and that would be by pushing the button. That would be by pushing the knob. I don't want to format this drive, so I'm going to say no and hit Menu. But you would do that. Once it's formatted, hit Menu and get back to this screen. You'll be ready to now record. In order to demonstrate this machine more properly, I've changed out my flash media. Now you can see there are 45 other items recorded on this USB drive. The actual controls are fairly straightforward. You have stop, play, ready, which is like a pause, and record. In order to record on this machine, the first thing you would do is push record. And as you can see, it will put you in a standby mode. Nothing will actually be recording. This is also known as a monitor mode. This is a perfect time to know if you are actually recording. This assumes that you have the microphone open or some source playing through your board. If nothing's playing or it's not playing properly, you will not see this bar moving. This is also telling you that you are set up to record an MP3, and you are also set to record in 44.1K sampling rate. There are a couple of things to know about the setup, that once you are in this mode, that you are probably going to be set up in an auto cue mode, but you're also going to be set up in an auto record mode. This, as you could see, just went into the record mode without me really starting it or stopping it. That's because my voice triggered it. This can be handy, and it can be a bit of a nuisance. I really don't recommend using that auto start function. In order to turn it off, go to Menu, Record, Sync, and make sure it is turned off. You can simply turn it off by selecting it, by pushing the button, turning it to off, selecting it again. It should be off. And again, push menu to get out of that. Now you should notice that even when I'm paused and start to speak again, it doesn't go until I actually start it. So in order to start it correctly, hit play, and you'll notice that with record and play pushed, the counter will start counting, which means I'm actually recording now. In order to stop, we would hit stop, or we can hit ready. The difference between hitting stop and ready is ready will continue the same track. Currently it's track 48. If I hit stop, it will start a new track. If I want to continue to record onto track 48, I'll use the pause or the ready button. So when I continue to record on it, as you can see, it is still track 48. When I hit pause, it is still track 48. However, when I hit stop, you'll notice it says information writing, and when I start to record again, I'll start on a new track. In this case, it's track 49. There's one other thing to really be aware of on this particular machine, and that happens while you're trying to set it up and record. For now, I'm simply going to stop this. Okay, as I said earlier, if you simply push the record button, it will go into this monitor mode. And at that point, if you have the microphone opened on your board, you should see a level here. That assumes the microphone is on, keyed in, and properly designated to program. If you do not see that moving in the monitor mode or that record mode, you should do the following. One is check to see what input is selected. There's two ways to do it. I'm going to show you both. The first way is through the menu. Select Menu, Record, and Input Select. The input select, and you get there by turning the knob, it should say unbalanced. If it says anything else, select the button and turn the knob until it says unbalanced. And in this case, it says A.unbal. Once it says that, select it by pushing the knob and then coming back out. At this point, you should see the meter moving. The other way to do it is over here you see some blue labeling and a shift button. If you hit shift and select, it will tell you on the readout what is selected. And from there, while you hold the shift button and push the input, it will shift. Again, you are looking for it to say unbalanced. My last recommendation is when you are recording, instead of plugging into the headphone amplifier, to actually plug in to this port right here, your headphones. You will be able to monitor exactly how things sound here. This is a good, strong headphone amp, but it is a little noisy. This, what you're hearing here, should be exactly what's being recorded, cleanly. Should you plug your headphones in here, just know that even with this volume turned all the way up, the internal amplifier is not very strong. And it actually has nothing to do with the level set on the board. So whether the blue knob is turned all the way up or all the way down, it has no effect on this volume. One final thing to note is once you're done recording, hit stop. Make sure that you are back to this basic main screen, and at that point it is safe to simply remove your media. There's no specific way to eject it. It's also worth noting that you can go into that monitor mode without your media in and simply see it say monitor. Again, if the wrong input is selected here, you'll find out immediately, but just know, just because this is saying it's ready or it seems to be in a record mode, it isn't. It's simply in a monitor mode, meaning it's not going to record. There are no internal recorders in here. Should it be recording, that means someone left something in here. Don't count on that. Your media, your flash media, is the only thing that should be getting recorded here. Again, the first time you plug it in, even if it doesn't ask you to format it, I recommend you format it. It only has to be done once. I would also try doing a test recording and then finally bring it over to a computer, ideally your computer, whatever that is, and make sure you can retrieve those recordings. They should just be MP3s. One other function to note is, what if the recording format is not correct? It should say 44.1K / MP3. What if it doesn't say that? Hit stop, go to menu, record, select record, and go to record format. At this point, you should be able to and will be able to select the proper format. So we don't want to record in WAV, we just want to record in MP3. And if you hit it again, it will tell you that right now it's doing a mono recording, which is fine. And it is set to 44.3, and it's setting at the kilobyte rate. This is all fine. Again, menu to get out. So to play the correct track that you want to listen to, it's fairly straightforward, but you would turn the knob to select the track that you think you want to listen to. In this case, I'm randomly selecting track 21. Push the button. It will tell you the length of the track, and simply by hitting play, will begin to play the track. Note one thing, this is set up only as a recorder. It does not go back into the board. You can listen to what has been recorded through your headphones, however. And if you wish to skip forward or stop, you can simply hit stop. You can also use these buttons to advance or to search through. So as a recap, you know how to load your media, how to format it, how to play and record on this device, also how to monitor from it. You also know two of the most common problems, which is one, how to format, but two, that for some reason the input was moved. Remember, you're only using the unbalanced input. And that is the Tascam SS-R200 recorder.